It is a real possession in the changing fortunes of time. Exercise caution in your business affairs, for the world is full of trickery. But let not this blind you to what virtue there is. Many persons strive for high ideals, and everywhere life is full of heroism. Be yourself, especially do not feign affection. Neither be cynical about love, for in the face of all aridity and disenchantment, it is perennial as the grass. Take kindly the counsel of the years, gracefully surrendering the things of youth. Nurture strength of spirit to shield you in sudden misfortune. But do not distress yourself with imaginings. Many fears are born of fatigue and loneliness. Beyond a wholesome discipline, be gentle with yourself. You are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here. And whether or not it is clear to you, no doubt the universe is unfolding as it should. Therefore be at peace with God, whatever you conceive him to be, and whatever your labours and aspirations in the noisy confusion of life, keep peace with your soul. With all its sham, drudgery and broken dreams, it is still a beautiful world. Be careful. Strive to be happy.
Brisbane's Alex Russ-Kucklick, who will soon move to Sydney office, gave a highly motivational address at the Camberwell Civic Centre Awards presentations for February. Here are a few highlights.
In 1979, I was misfortunate to work with a company that perhaps didn't do the right thing, but I was also blessed at the same time to be chosen as an honorary coach of East Sydney. I did it as an honorary position because I believed I was a prima donna, and I believe that in VFL football, a lot of people take, and don't stop. I happened to be one of those people until something silently tapped me inside and said, Alex, it's time you put something back into the game. So in 1979, I accepted the coaching position of East Sydney. But I didn't accept it just as an honorary. I asked them for a special commitment, a commitment that most people never understand. Most people go to the graves not fully evolved as spirits and don't understand what commitment is. I said that when you accept my role as a coach, that I ask you to give me your full commitment to a dream. The dream was, in advance, to win 5 premierships. And also the dream was because the club at the time was floundering enormously financially. People seemed to want me at that particular time when things go bad. In the first year, I'll just tell you a little bit about it, we won every single game. And the proudest moment was at the end of the year, because no one had given in to a vision and a dream. The proudest moment was maybe half a dozen people off the top of my head came to me and said, Alex, thank you for changing my life. Thank you for granting me the ability. And I said, no, I've done nothing to you except help you rediscover who the hell you really are. My own brother, who's a flop out, went to Fitzroy, couldn't make it, was the first player released to Geelong, couldn't make it, went to Adelaide and basically became a crow eater and couldn't make it there, and their standard football, which has improved enormously since then, in case we've got any crow eaters here. Peter Russ-Kucklick, who was basically a loser, and every coach said, I think you're a loser, son, you've got to move on. And I like Janie's comment, there's no such thing as a loser, there's learners and there's winners. And I've had to change my attitude over the last 5 years to be able to talk like that. Peter Russ-Kucklick in his first year didn't know what he's in for because, you know, a lot of people want a lot of money and a lot of things. And when he rang, or I rang him and said, let's win a premiership, the first thing, you know, what prima donnas do, I should know I was one, is I want money. I didn't quibble about the money, I said, you got it. And when he arrived in Sydney, the biggest shock came to him. He had to live with me for 12 months. He understood commitment. At 12 o'clock, many times I had to lock the door to prevent him from coming in. To me, commitment is body and soul. You cannot fail. His first year, the record was 111 goals. Peter kicked, are you ready for it? 125. Oh, it doesn't stop there. The second year, the same man that they said was a loser kicked 134. Oh, I haven't finished yet. Check the Guinness Book of Records in his third year. He kicked 213 goals and is now a living legend in his own time, equal to Peter Hudson. Same man, but the one thing that moved Peter and moved people at the club when finances were low was a brutal honesty that we all are capable of anything. Once that breaks up in any club or any company, you've got problems. That may not mean much to you, but we're going to get to the Queensland point in a moment. There's a particular person I'd like to say thank you to in Brisbane. He's a fellow called Greg Parr, a part-timer. He's got 41 in his downline in 6 weeks. He's opened up his own branch office on the Gold Coast. Probably one of the most exciting people to work with. I believe 2 weeks ago he made 15 sales part-time, and in his absence, I promised him I'd give him a commercial today. Why don't we give him a round of applause? Before I share with you a few of the intricacies of what's helping Queensland become a little bit more outstanding in some areas, is that there's a philosophy higher than the philosophy I just spoke about, and that's make Australia great. Nobody in this room and nobody on this great continent or world of ours will ever change my mind. Has anybody ever read Jonathan Livingston Seagull? He says, and I repeat, stop seeing yourself trapped in a limited body because of the perfect ideal that lives within. We can say that intellectually, can't we? But our bottom line in life, our paycheck, our cars and our friends that we have will personify how much we believe in the spiritual side of life. My concept of spirituality is very childlike. I believe in a creator. I believe that I've got an enormous spirit that no single human being will ever put down. But I also believe that every living human being has got that fibre. And when I work with people, I've been blessed with a gift to ignite them with honesty, integrity, and incredible results. Now I must stand here like a child, and I've got to share it with you, that it's no good hoarding it, it's no good playing games like some people do in business. I've got a birthright to share that with every living people, or every living person, to ignite them to perfection. But as Roz says, some ears are technologically tuned in to not listen, aren't they? Do you agree? So with that overall philosophy, it's not make Queensland great or Victoria the greatest, it's to make the human race, particularly Australia, one of the greatest nations in the world. Queensland's got, are you ready for it, 4 decentralised offices in 13 or 14 weeks of operation. The first Gold Coast office, now manned by a gentleman called David Simons, is averaging about 25 or 30 plans a week. Greg Parr floats between 25 and 30 a week. The Nambour Muppets, as I call them. God love them, we're still working out of a garage. They've got 18 reps up there at the moment. We don't have an office, but the TLC and the ideology that they are capable of putting Nambour on the map and all the spiritual connotations, some people laugh behind my back or wherever. Hey, the last laugh is on the individuals that do not understand what this whole concept is all about. You can sell anything when you believe in yourself. The Nambour Muppets last week brought in, I believe, 38 plans, which in round figures, let's say, is about 38,000 in premium income. I'd like to give them a round of applause for their effort too. They have no manager, which doesn't say much for me or anybody else. No manager, no identity, just harmony. Let me repeat that. No manager, no identity, working out of a garage, but total harmony. Queensland has taught me a few things, what you have to do when your back's against the wall to find the answers. There's other concepts that I'd like to share with you this morning. I haven't got one to show you, but it's the boomerang effect. You've all seen our Aborigines throw out the boomerang, haven't you? Just imagine for a moment, I have a boomerang in my hand, okay? And you put a note on that boomerang and the note says, I'm not sure, I don't know whether I can. And I throw that boomerang as hard as I can and it comes back with the same note on it, doesn't it? I don't know whether I can and I'm not sure. See, that's called cause and effect, and as you sow, so shall you reap. So what we do is take that note off the boomerang and let's change it to I will and I can. And that boomerang, if you keep throwing it out with those thoughts, has to come back with changing of your entire life, doesn't it? That's another thing that they firmly believe in Queensland. Also, in our second or third course, we brought in 41 recruits. I mean, it sounds like a lot, but I've got no trained or experienced people up there to help me. All they're doing is having a childlike faith that is abnormal when you look at the intellectual side of things. You can't do that. Duncan, you can't do that. You come from real estate. Peter Wiley, you've come from finance. You've never dealt with anything in multi-level. Don't be so silly. Well, those guys are explosive with enthusiasm, explosive with faith. And to me, faith, if anyone heard Joe Bjelke-Peterson on the, I almost said the throne, on On his discussion on TV, he said loud and clear, "Where are the policies?" they said. "Where's this? Where's that?" His answer was, "They will come. I have faith and the concept will work." Very, very few people understand that is faith. Faith is like a high antenna. Faith draws to you people with great thoughts and they come out of the woodwork when you least expect them. Faith means you're going to meet a friendly smile when you're down on your knees and things aren't working too well. Faith means you can do anything that is possible, but you've got to stay away from some of those that say it can't be done. Last thing, I'd like to give another commercial to my family, because I've been a little bit heavy perhaps to some of you, and I'll say this one quietly. I have a 3-year-old son. Some of you have got a lot of children. He's 3 years and 3 months. Let me just tell you what this kid's doing. Firstly, he gets down on his knees, and the first thing he says, "Thank you, God, for making me with magic powers. Thank you for making me strong. Thank you for making me clever." See, I also asked him to look behind his ear, and he couldn't do that. He said, "Why, Dad?" I said, "Because behind your ear and the ear of every human being is, made in heaven, infinite potential." Maybe you better get somebody to look behind your ear, because we've all got it. This little mite got a shock the other day. He does a lot of walking with me. I've got an athlete body, but it's run out of steam, so I stick to walking because jogging's too hard. True, it is. I take Adam for a many kilometres walk. Okay? This particular day was last Saturday. We walk around the lagoon, that's 4 kilometres. We had a rest for an hour or two. I got bored. We walked for another 4 kilometres. And we did the last 2, and Adam was with me. He whinged. He complained, "Oh, Dad, my back and my tummy, what are you doing to me?" I tuned out to it. In fact, when I bent beside him, I said, "Come on, son. You see those people over there?" And I pointed to some people who were sitting and drinking beer and making it easy. And I said, "You see those people? He's ready to climb on board with tiredness and aches and pains because he'd whinged and done nothing but whinged about the pain." Okay? And he said, "Yes, Dad, I can see him climbing on with cheek to cheek, hoping he's going to get a free ride out of me." "So you see those people over there, son?" I said, "They're all weak." "What's the word weak mean, Dad?" I said, "They're wimps. Every time their tummy hurts, son, every time their legs hurt, son, they give in life. I don't want you to be like that." He said, "I don't know what wimps and weaks mean, Dad." So I looked at my legs. I was in a pair of shorts. I said, "Look at Daddy's legs, love." He said, "They're big, aren't they?" I said, "They're big." I said, "Dad's got footballer legs. Love, you've got footballer legs. They're strong. I've got footballer legs." And then we came to the last half kilometre, which is up a whopping big hill. Boy, if you reckon you guys can win, do you want to hear this 3-year-old and 3-month-old muppet win? "Dad, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it." So I had to use psychology right around the circle. And I said, "Okay, love, now we're going to play choo-choo trains. I'll be Papa Choo-Choo Train, you be Dad, you be Muppet Choo-Choo Train, and we'll pretend to pull all these people up." And I said, "Yes, we can, yes, we can." And when I got him to the top of the hill, he said, "Okay, I'll race you to the top, Dad," and he sprinted. And this was a kid that was supposed to be whinging with pain. I decided to buy that kid a trophy, and I gave him a trophy to my son, the champion, on the 23rd or whatever date it was last Saturday, to a kid who made 10 kilometres, who became a champion of all champions. And he said, "Dad, when do I get my trophy?" And I gave it to him before I left. Today I expect to ignite enough people to get serious about life. I really do. You can see why I get excited with people. But I'll tell you something. I sincerely believe that I've been blessed with a gift. I don't believe making money is difficult. I've never believed in that. I'm not going to give you much of a commercial on Queensland because you're just as good as Queensland. You've got a great spirit. You have a great reason, but remember, find a reason beyond this company, find a reason beyond OST, and you'll find all the magic, all the riches to whatever you want. And that's the only commercial you'll get out of me this morning. Take care.
From Enterprise 2000 Proprietary Limited comes a brand new marketing concept called the Matrix Network Marketing System. TomCom presents Jim Axford and Sheila Jackson with a little Matrix magic.
Today I'm going to be talking to one of our top agents, Sheila Jackson, and asking her some of the questions that your downline could very well be asking you about this new Matrix system. Sheila, why do we need a range of new products?
Well, Jim, the product that we've already got just mirrors one side of the multi-level marketing picture. That is, it's a highly referable product. A product which people need and where we just need to communicate the benefits to them that the product will give them. But the other side of multi-level marketing, the principle on which it works really well also, is to have a highly consumable product, a product which people use regularly and is a part of their everyday life. So we have chosen a range of consumable products, the Harvest range, products that are of the highest quality and value, things that you will be using every day in the home. The advantage of these consumable products to our business is that we will have repeat turnover all the time. And of course, repeat turnover means repeat commissions.
And the beautiful thing too, Sheila, is that really the Harvest products don't cost you anything.
Right.
You see, you've got to buy products like this in the supermarket anyway, don't you? So really what we're doing, we're buying from our own shop. Now, why are we adopting the matrix system?
It's the latest development in the United States of America in multi-level marketing for marketing plans. And in the United States, there are thousands of multi-level marketing companies, and the best brains in these companies have been refining every aspect of multi-level marketing. And what they've come up with is this new matrix marketing system, which takes advantage of the latest computer technology. This system has been running in the United States very successfully for a couple of years now, and our top people have been out there to look at it and have extracted the very best from it to bring home for us for our business here.
How is the matrix system different from the existing OST marketing plan, and what are the benefits?
Well, to start off with, Jim, our existing marketing plan that we use really successfully with the OST, and which works well and which will continue to be used with the OST, requires people to go from A to E level before they're on full commissions. With the matrix marketing plan, everybody will be on full commissions straight away. Then there's the way that the computer actually organises our downlines for us. That's an interesting one. What happens is that everybody can only have 7 people on their first level, whereas we've been used to putting as many as we wished on our first level. But here, everybody in the matrix has just 7 people on their first level. So what happens when you sponsor an 8th, 9th or more person, as we're obviously going to do? Well, that person is put by the computer into the next vacant spot in your downline. Now that might be under the first person who you sponsored. Say, for example, when you sponsor an 8th person, they have only already sponsored 4. Well, that 8th person of yours would automatically be put by the computer into that 5th spot under the first person you sponsored. This means that you can have people put into your organisation by your upline sponsors. In the literature that we've produced, this is referred to as spillover. As well as your organisation being 7 wide, as we've just mentioned, it also goes 7 levels deep. And this is referred to as a 7 by 7 matrix. So you sponsor 7 people. They, in turn, can have 7 people on their first level. So on your second level, there could be 49 people. These people, in turn, can have 7 people on their first level, giving you a full third level of 343 people. Those people sponsor 7, and your fourth level, if full, would be 2,401 people. Fifth level then, with everyone sponsoring 7, would be 16,807 people. Sixth level, if it were full, with everybody sponsoring 7, would come to an enormous 117,649 people. And your 7th level, which of course would take a long time to achieve, would come to 823,543 people. An amazing organisation. Now, With a huge organisation like this, how do we keep track of it? Well, this is where the computer technology involved in the matrix system comes in. It keeps track of everyone in your downline, and it helps keep downlines organised and helps your organisation grow in a stable and balanced pattern so that you have got a really solid, cohesive business.
How do the overrides work?
You earn overrides on the various levels depending on the number of personally sponsored active agents in your business. For example, if you've got 5 personally sponsored people, you earn overrides on your 1st through 5th levels. If those 5 personally sponsored agents are active themselves, and this assumes, of course, that you are also active for the month. If one of those 5 personally sponsored agents weren't active for that month, then you would earn overrides just on the first 4 levels. To earn overrides on all the 7 levels in your business, when it is built to 7 levels, you would need to have 7 personally sponsored active agents.
What do you have to do to be considered active each month?
To be considered active for the month, you need to purchase $100 worth of product from the company. This is $100 at agent's deposit price. This is easy to do because we're just spending the money that we'd normally spend from our housekeeping on this type of item from the supermarket, but we're getting a better quality item at a better price, and we're buying it from our own business. And of course, while you're using these products, you're going to find friends and relatives want to use them too. So you'll be developing, say, 5 or 6 friend customers, and with them getting things from you regularly and you're using the products, $100 a month, well, $200 a month is going to be very easy. For the launch months of February and March 1987, however, the qualifying amount will be just $50 agent's deposit price, and it's not until the 1st of April that the $100 qualification will apply, and from the 1st of April we will have a slightly bigger range of products for you.
What if an agent isn't active every month? What happens?
If an agent isn't active for a particular month, that agent doesn't receive any overrides for that month. And if you have personally sponsored that particular agent, of course, he doesn't count as one of your agents for you to qualify for downline overrides. And where an agent doesn't put in an order for 3 consecutive months, that agent loses their spot in the matrix. That spot, so that we don't have gaps, is filled up by the computer selection, and the agent who has dropped out can still rejoin at any time, but then must go to the bottom of the matrix.
What happens to the commissions if an agent becomes inactive?
The commissions automatically roll up to the next qualified upline sponsor.
Okay, who should we work with specifically to get the maximum benefit from our MLM business?
2 groups of people, really. The first would be your personally sponsored people. Now, they could be on your first level partially, but they could also be on other levels, because remember, you can only have 7 personally sponsored on your first level, and so others would be down in the organisation. But wherever they're placed, you still work with them specifically to help them build their businesses and to help them be active. Because if they're active, they get overrides, and also their activity relates to you getting your overrides. The second group of people are your first levels. Now, some of these could be spillover from upline. So you might have sponsored 5 yourself and have a spillover of 2. Now, you still work well with those 2 spillover as well as the other first levels, because building their organisation obviously helps you build your business, and you're earning overrides on their organisation.
What about the bottom line, Sheila? What about the income potential?
Well, there's a fantastic income potential in this. And to tell you about that, let's just have a look at the various bonuses on the different levels. This information you'll find all written out in your Enterprise 2000 mail-out, but I'll just refer briefly to it here. On the first level, the bonus is 3%. On the second level, also 3%. On the third level, wait for this, it goes up to 6%, and then up to a maximum of 12% on the 4th level. Isn't this interesting?
That's great.
It's good, isn't it? The fact that on our 4th level, where we've got a large number of people, we're actually getting the biggest bonus percentage. Then on the 5th level, it goes to 3%, and the 6th and 7th levels, 1.5% each. Because our 5th, 6th and 7th levels are really levels where we're getting royalties, because we've helped our 1st, 2nd, 3rd and 4th levels build well, and they in turn have helped the 5th, 6th and 7th levels build. So let's look at an example where you've got a reasonable organisation that you could develop in the short term. So say you've got your 7 people on your 1st level, and assuming that everybody in the business is purchasing their $100 worth of product. On the 1st level, on the 7th people, your override would be $3 per person. The total would be $21. The 2nd level, again 3%, let's say you have 21 people there. The override would come to $63. 3rd level, now it's getting higher, a 6% bonus, and you have perhaps 65 people on that level. So you get $6 for every 100 that they order, making $390. Now to the biggest level, our 4th level, where there's a 12% bonus. Here you might have, say, 195 people at this stage. You get $12 for every 100 that they purchase. So on that level, you would be getting a monthly override of $2,340. Things are looking a lot better, aren't they? Then the extra royalties on our 5th, 6th and 7th levels. 5th, say you might have 214 people, and you're getting a $3 per 100 override there. So that would come to $642. On your 6th level, maybe there could be 93 people there. You're getting $1.50 there every 100, which makes $139.50. And on the 7th level, the same sort of percentage, maybe you've got 26 on that level at this stage that we're talking about. So you would get $39 on that level. When you add all that up, the overrides would be $3,634.50, which are terrific overrides for the month, aren't they? And of course, this is all achieved by a whole lot of people just doing a little bit and duplicating what you have shown them how to do. What I've just explained is all illustrated in the Enterprise 2000 mail-out, and all the figures are given. And it also explains in the mail-out what terms like BV mean. Bonus volume, BV, actually is the dollar amount set by the company on which all bonuses are computed. And each product is given a BV amount, which in most cases is equivalent to the agent's deposit price, or in some cases the suggested retail price. The BV amounts are shown on the company's price list.
Okay, Sheila, look, thanks very much for that. It's been very, very informative. The example that you've given is really an illustration only of how the plan functions. Look, obviously we can't guarantee specific results as they're dependent entirely upon the efforts put in and the initiative by the individual agents. This is one of the most exciting things that we've seen in MLM, isn't it, Sheila?
Definitely, Jim.
We hope that in this segment we've communicated just what a good opportunity there is for you with this new matrix marketing system. In the months ahead, we will be bringing you the success stories of people who've been running with this. It could be you. Just imagine.
TomCom was produced for APAM Proprietary Limited by the APAM Communications Division of Reed Proprietary Limited. TomCom is a copyright production of APAM Proprietary Limited.